In this episode, I talk with Tim Schmoyer about YouTube, video, and how to feel confident in front of the camera.
Welcome to the Online Course Coach Podcast, brought to you by TrueFocusMedia.com. Whether you're a beginner or expert, this is the podcast for the latest in online course creation tips, news, interviews, and ideas. And here's your coach, Jeff Long.
Thanks for coming back to another Online Course Coach podcast today. And this is the podcast that's a no-hype podcast. You know, we talk honestly about effective online course strategies. So that might range from course planning to creation to marketing and everywhere in between. And today we talk specifically about the video portion of your courses. And that could be creating videos for within your courses, creating content outside of your courses to build your audience, to market your courses, and to promote yourself, and why videos are so important and why YouTube is so important. So today we have Tim Schmoyer on. I've met Tim several times, and he's not only knowledgeable about video. In fact, he talks about his relationships with some very well-known big companies, Fortune 500 companies and the like. So we talk about his knowledge about video. He's extremely knowledgeable about YouTube and authentic relationships. And that's what I like, because it's easy to be a little hypey when you're online. And there's definitely people on YouTube that are hypey. They're promoting themselves or promoting their products and services, maybe in a way that's a little more, forceful or something. And so Tim's such a personable guy. He's funny. I think I laughed quite a few times in this interview, so I have to excuse me there. But we had a really good conversation, so I want you to walk away with a couple things. First of all, is we talk about YouTube. And do you have a YouTube channel set up yet? And if not, we talk about some reasons why you might want to consider that. We also talk about how to get comfortable in front of the camera. That's one of the most important things. And Tim has some, I guess, edgy or provocative things to say, and some things I hadn't thought about myself. You know, I've been producing videos for clients since 2003 and have done a lot of stuff. In fact, just yesterday was producing some videos for one of the largest privately held companies in the country. And so we did some video work for them. So I'm definitely experienced, but Tim brought a different perspective on several different topics, which I really appreciated. And since we're talking about video today, are you like most of us that struggle with being on camera? Maybe you're uncomfortable, you don't like doing it, and that's prohibited you from making effective course videos. Or maybe you're like one of the many people that, you struggle with the technology side, or you don't want to waste money buying the wrong equipment or software. Or maybe you just want to set it up correctly. That's why I created Easy Video for Courses. I've really taken all the confusion out of the process so you can make effective course videos in half the time, even if you don't want to be on camera. In fact, I also share some of my go-to resources for creating better videos, whether that's graphics, stock photos, stock videos, even templates, PowerPoint templates. Hey, if you have to use PowerPoint, you might as well make it look fantastic. And I give some amazing resources in Easy Video for Courses. So you definitely want to check out easyvideoforcourses.com to learn more and get the course. Well, hey, let's jump right into the interview. A little bit about Tim Schmoyer is in 2006, Tim uploaded his first video to YouTube to introduce his girlfriend to his family from across the country. Others started watching, so he started digging into YouTube to figure out how it worked. And in 2011, he became the first creator to start training YouTube creators. Today, his company, Video Creators, has been featured by Fox, Forbes, BBC, and even YouTube themselves as he trains other creators to master the YouTube platform and use it as a place to spread messages that change lives. And the best thing is, he married his girlfriend. So Tim Schmoyer, thanks so much for being on the Online Course Coach podcast today.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
So I just read your bio, but give me a little more depth about your background and how you got started with video and YouTube.
So in 2006, I was in graduate school in Dallas, Texas, halfway across the country from my family back in Philadelphia. And I started dating this girl, and I wanted a way of like introducing her to my family back home. And so this place called YouTube had just started a few months prior, and I was like, oh wow, people are posting videos like online, and they can just like watch them. I don't have to send like these big QuickTime files through DSL or dial-up or whatever. And so I was like, oh, let me try this. So my girlfriend and I started going out and making just like little videos together. Like I'd take the camera when we go out to eat or go out to the park or go to the movies or something, and just started posting those videos there for my family back home. And we just kind of kept going. Like today we would know them as vlogs, but back then that wasn't a word. That was just being awkward in public with a camera, which is really still what it is, to be honest. And so we started publishing these, and when everything to our engagement is on there, to our wedding, to our honeymoon, first real job, first house, first kids, everything. But way back in the beginning, it was like during MySpace days when people would be creeped out if someone else like knew about, like you didn't use your real names on the internet, right? Because people will come to your house and kill you if you did that. So back in those early days when we were still dating, and then to our engagement, other people were watching these videos and commenting. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Who are you? Where'd you come from? Why are you watching my videos? And like, this is just for my family. I was kind of creeped out a little bit. And so I started trying to figure out, like, how is this platform working? Like, how do they find my videos? Why are they watching my videos? Why is that person commenting on every video I have, right? And so from the very beginning of YouTube, I kind of quickly ended up on the industry side of trying to figure out how this platform works and how do audiences grow and what causes people to watch and gets them interested, and ended up working with Disney, HBO, Time Warner, Budweiser, eBay, just I don't even remember. Just like
some
a lot
small
of
companies nobody's ever heard of, Like
yeah. Well, back then it was their agencies were kind of like saying, hey, we want to learn YouTube, and their agency's like, we don't know that platform yet. And so I got roped in pretty quickly as the guy who was trying to figure out the platform and how it worked. So and so here we are today. I own a business full time that helps people create online businesses and audiences around their YouTube audience and their channels. And it's a small team of us that do that. And we've been having a lot of success, seeing a lot of people accomplish some really crazy stuff, which has been really fun for us to be a part of. So it's been fun.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I love that you said you started that in college with your girlfriend. Apparently I was just a few years short of that, or maybe I would have had the success you did in your area. I didn't do the YouTube thing for my then girlfriend, which was not the woman I married, but I put her on CD-ROMs because that was back in the day before, slightly before YouTube. And I remember the nightmare of like, we had to find a webcam and we had to do this and that. It was crazy. And so yeah, when YouTube came along, man, that was like the holy grail of simplicity and just making it easy for people.
I think I forgot that it was called CD-ROM. I forgot the ROM part.
I know, right? Yeah, this was before DVDs were a thing, obviously, but like it was easier to put a bunch of clips on a CD or whatever and burn it and all that good stuff. Yeah. In fact, one of our videos, my roommate had a pet scorpion, and somehow the thing got loose when we were recording the video, and all I don't know, everything went to it was crazy. I'll just say that. So anyway,
everything hit the fan.
Yeah, I was trying to think of a clean way to say what I was trying to say.
There you
go. So why
hit the fan?
Yeah. Why do you like YouTubers? Because depending on who you talk to, YouTubers can either have a good connotation, a bad connotation. Like, what do you like about that audience?
It's kind of evolved over time. I mean, it used to be that there was no money involved on YouTube back when I got started. There was no partner program. It wasn't owned by Google. It was privately owned by a few guys, and people were just creating out of passion to tell stories, to reach audiences, to express themselves creatively. And you can kind of obviously see how that's changed from where today it's owned by Google. It's the second largest search engine in the world. It's second to Google.com itself. It's has a partner program where people are making money and getting paid on there. And so there still are a lot of those people who are here for the spirit of the thing, to reach people, to change their lives, to tell stories that are inspiring. And then there's like a whole nother group of people who are here to, how do I extract value from people? Like if I put $10 in, can I get $100 out? And the answer is yes, you can. But like, for me, like if that's the goal, I kind of get like what if we could use that money to fund reaching more people, right? As opposed to like, how do I just make myself rich, or how do I become popular? And those things aren't bad in and of themselves, but yeah, you get kind of a mix of people. So what I like about it, I tend to vibe mostly with that first group of people, the people who have a mission behind what they're doing, who get excited about reaching people and changing their lives, and need to make money, obviously, to make it sustainable. And I think you should make a lot of money doing it, because money equals influence a lot of the time. And I think money is an amazing tool. I think if it's the goal, it could ruin your life. But using money as a tool is actually is a very powerful tool to reach more people and change lives. So those tend to be the people I get most excited about, whether they are a business or an entrepreneur, or they're a hobby creator, or it's the dad who just lost his job and is like, you know what, I heard I can make money on YouTube, and this is my kick in the butt to go make this happen. And working like just whoever, that's the people I tend to vibe with.
You said something very interesting, and you really glossed over it, but I want to focus on something when you were talking about the popularity of YouTube, and you said that it's the number 2 search engine behind Google, and it's also owned by Google. That's pretty powerful, especially as a course creator is hopefully trying to get more, trying to build their audience and have their website be, on the first page of Google. So that's obviously important to have videos about your course, that anybody can see, not just behind the paywall, but, FAQs
especially if it's a video course.
Of course. Yeah. Makes sense. I love it. Yeah. I did a podcast recently with Rebecca Gill. She's an SEO and WordPress expert, and just talking about the content strategy and some different things like that. So to the listener, don't minimize or undervalue the importance of YouTube and creating videos for everybody, that's not behind the paywall, because it's hugely important.
Well, there's a few different reasons why, even with a website, you still want to make videos, because if you have videos embedded into your website or on your web pages, if people click and watch those videos and spend time watching them, that's more time spent on your page, which is a factor that Google looks at for ranking. And so often pages with videos in them that people watch tend to rank higher than just standard text pages. Wow. And then you also have the fact that just the YouTube video itself can rank outside of any websites, just in Google search or in YouTube, for example. And it's been a few years, so I don't know what this current stat is, but back when the stat first came out, it was that making a video with the same content of an equivalent blog post, the video would rank is 52 times more likely to rank on the first page of Google or on YouTube than making an equivalent blog post, just because there's so much competition already in the blog world, and because the barrier of entry there is very low. And now the barrier of entry to making videos is lower and lower all the time. So I don't know what that stat is currently, but I think the principle is still true, that it's far more easier to get videos to perform than it might be to enter into a large sea of other bloggers who are trying to get attention that way.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. I'm starting kind of a new, I guess you could call it, hobby or whatever. And so I'm doing all this research, and I'm watching all these YouTube videos, and it's really cool to get on their channels and in a way get in their funnel, willingly. Like I know what they're doing. I know that they're creating these videos and hey, go to my website to download this resource. And I'm like, absolutely. I'm trying to learn about this and grow. And so I love being a part of that process. So tell me about how you first created your first online course and what that process was like.
Is an ebook the same as a course or no?
Absolutely.
That's the first thing I created.
It's training. We'll go with that.
Okay. Well, I mean, I have online video courses too, which in the more traditional sense, but the first thing I made was actually an ebook. Actually, the very first one was a free ebook that I wrote just as a lead magnet for my email list. And then the second one was an ebook it's called 30 Days to a Better YouTube Channel, which is still my number one best-selling product. And it's just 30 days, practical step-by-step guide to day one, here's what you do in your channel. Day two, do this in your channel. And it's a little teaching, teaches you what you're doing and why it's important, then gives you the steps for how to do it and links to further resources and things. So that's done quite well. So I guess it was kind of like a course, but in a book format is what that is. And that was back in 2013 maybe. And I did a crowdfunding campaign for it with my audience just to first see, like, can I sell this? Will they buy it? Because I don't want to put all the time into writing it if no one was going to buy it. So I was a youth pastor for 12 years before realizing I could impact millions of people instead of just through YouTube. And so when I switched over and started doing YouTube stuff full time, I had written some books in ministry world with publishers that are on bookshelves and stuff. And so usually they give you an advance, and that's how and they pay you basically to write it that way. And then you don't make any money back until sales reach a certain point. So I thought, well, I'm going to do that with my audience, get myself paid in advance by doing a crowdfunding campaign, see if I can essentially pre-sell this thing. And I did. I reached the minimum I wanted. I would make it for. And so that's when I wrote that ebook, and I continually update it. It's still updated even today, and sell it that way. So that was kind of the first one I made anyway.
Well, and I love that. It's easy for course creators or even myself with this podcast to promote only or mainly video-based courses. And I think those are maybe more effective, or especially now that the barrier to entry is a little lower, those are harder to create, or there's more perceived value. That's the word I'm looking for. But yet with these ebook courses or email-based courses even, they can be very, very effective. I've taken quite a few of those myself. And man, I just love those as well. So I like that there's not a one size fits all. I love that you asked your audience, you're like, hey, I'm not going to write this if you don't want it. I see so many course creators that are like, hey, I just spent 6 months and, dozens of hours or hundreds of hours, and I have the course now. Now what do I do? And I'm like, well, did you ask anybody if they wanted it? And they stare at me, so I'm glad you did that. And to the audience, make sure, no matter who your audience is or how big or small your audience is, to ask your ideal student if they truly want what you're trying to sell or want to sell.
Right. Yeah. And I would encourage people to, even before you make a course, to actually develop an audience first. Because if you make the course for this audience you don't yet have, the audience you might end up attracting might be different than what you think it is. And now the course doesn't quite fit them anymore. And so I think it's better to start by just seeing, can I get someone to pay me for my advice, for my training, and just start with like consulting type stuff. Will someone pay me $20 for an hour session? Will they pay me $100 for an hour session? $500 for an hour session? Like what will people pay me? And that's how you actually get to know your audience, get to hear the questions they're asking, not just the questions you think they're asking. And I know, like, I'll admit I was one of those guys like, oh, I already know my audience so well because I am one of them. And that's certainly an advantage if you are in your own target audience. But I think it's when you start hearing the way other people are phrasing the questions and you start hearing the solutions they're trying to go after, then it helps you speak their language better. And you can use the words in the language that they're using, as opposed to what a lot of experts tend to do. And they tend to use the expert language, like watch time and session watch time and session starts and metadata, which, as a YouTube creator, people knows exactly. I know what I'm talking about in YouTube, and maybe some of the listeners do as well. But there's some people who are just who don't know YouTube. And so when I say, here, guys, I'm going to teach you how to increase watch time, people are like, why do I care about that? Oh, I'm going to teach you how to get more views. Oh, okay. Now I'm more interested. Right. So yeah, I would say, like, before you start a course, see if you can get someone to pay you for your time first, and do that for a while and develop an audience, so that when you do launch this thing, you have a group of people who are ready, who have been a part of the process, the creation process with you, and are hopefully ready to buy.
Yeah, I love that. That's so good. Now, I find, and I'm sure you're the same way, that most people really don't like being in front of the camera, right? And you've had dozens, probably hundreds, maybe thousands of videos now where you're on the camera. So do you have any tips or tricks for people to get comfortable in front of the camera so they can be really and truly authentic?
Yeah. So I actually have a whole video course about that, to be honest, about how to find your voice on camera and present your true authentic self. And so it is pretty hard. What I did in that course is I actually hired a friend of mine who is an acting coach and works with a lot of theater actors and helps them how to feel comfortable on camera and for commercial work and things like that. And so when I was working with him, a lot of the things that he advised that we worked through in the course were just about things just like calming your nerves and taking deep breaths and different mindsets and things like that to take. A lot of that you can shave a lot of time off of feeling uncomfortable by going through courses like that or working with acting coaches like that. But for me, what it was, if you watch my very first video, it is painful. It is awkward. And it's 30 seconds, and it was just me. It's called test video, so I put a lot of energy into this thing. Got off my 8mm camera and got it up on YouTube. Yeah. For me, it was just came over the course of doing almost 4,000 videos now, 12 years later. And there's something to say, I think all of us, whether it's athletics or it's music or it's even the jobs we do, you get better at it over time. No one starts at like 100. Everyone starts at 0 and kind of goes from there. And a lot of people think like, well, I'm not that outgoing. I don't have a great personality. Like that person makes sense on camera because they're just, super energetic. But I've actually found that the introverted people tend to do better on camera.
Wow.
Because most popular YouTube creators that I know are actually introverts. I think there's a reason why they're more comfortable talking to a camera than they are to real people.
Yeah,
so the introverts, like they look at the camera and they're not like they're not as much all flash and energy. They're like, hey guys, so good to see you again, man. How you doing? Like I had a great day today. I'll tell you about it. Like it feels more like authentic. Like those introverts tend to feel like more real, like you're making a personal connection, as opposed to, hey guys, I had an awesome day. You need to know all about it. Coming up right after this, and some flash, and you're like, whoa, am I watching a ShamWow commercial? Like what's going on? There's little personal connection. It's more of a presentation than a conversation. Yeah. And I think that's what you need to focus on. So just because you might feel like you don't feel confident, I found that typically those are the people who, after they get past their nerves by just doing it several times, they end up making the deeper, more long-lasting connection with audiences. So
yeah. Well, I've found, like I've interviewed CEOs of huge companies all the way down to the nobodies, and everybody gets nervous. Almost everybody gets nervous in front of the camera, and almost everyone hates how they look and sound on video, including me. So it's one of those, like you said, you just kind of have to get over it. And I find that once you envision your audience, whether it's, for courses, obviously it's your student, and how you can help them, for me, that calms my nerves. It takes the focus off of me and puts it on the student. And I love helping and serving and teaching. So if I can help my student get to that next level, man, that energizes me, that excites me. It doesn't put fear into me.
Yeah, I think it might be part of a pride thing too. I mean, where you're kind of like, what are people going to think of me?
Sure.
Like, how are they going to perceive me? And no one's sitting down and watching your videos like, hey, I'm clicking play so I can judge this person. Like, no one's doing that.
I don't know. The internet's a pretty, can be a pretty evil place.
Right.
But no, you're right.
But most of the
people
time
are there for the content, right? They're not there to judge. Yeah.
And they're not here thinking like, oh, wow, that voice is so weird. Or, oh, wow, like, why aren't they smiling enough? Or like that person's background is just off, or the lighting. Now, you do need good audio, but that's more important than the video and lighting and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, most of the people are like, they're sitting down, like they're on your side and they're cheering you on. They want to watch your video, your content. And so not giving it to them because you're self-conscious might be a little selfish. If you have something that you know could change someone's life, I would say, well, give it to them and suck it up. I guess as nicely as I could say that.
That's funny. Now, why should a course creator, we talked about this a little bit, but like why should a course creator create a YouTube channel to build their audience? You know, what should they even put on the YouTube channel if you think they should build a channel?
You know, I think it depends. I think YouTube serves a purpose as a tool. And, you know, so if you're going up on your roof to drive some nails, you don't take the leaf rake with you, you know, like this is it's a tool designed to help you accomplish a specific task. And so sometimes podcasts work better to reach your target audience than YouTube might. Sometimes blogging works great. Like all of it kind of depends on what you want to accomplish. If the things I think YouTube helps you accomplish better than any other platform is well, one, the searchability. If you're going after search traffic, you know, compared to just competing in Google. But two, one of the things I like about it, and I think it does well more so than books or writing or podcasts or any other medium, is that on YouTube, you're not just like telling someone about something, but you can actually show them. Yeah. Or you can actually invite them into the story, make them a part of the story, as opposed to just sitting down and telling them the story later, or perfectly crafting the story after it's all said and done. And here on YouTube, you're like, here, come along this journey with me, and let's experience this together. And I think that, you know, the ability to make eye contact, well, quote unquote, eye contact with your viewer, looking into the camera lens, making them feel like it's just you and them sitting down in your living room having a conversation is very powerful. And there's ways to do that on other platforms, but I think that YouTube is uniquely positioned to, like, that's part of what it takes to be successful on YouTube. And I really like that part. So I would say if making that human connection on a deep personal level is something that's important to your strategy, then I would say, yeah, consider YouTube and use it for that.
Well, especially because most people, we all need to, know, like, and trust the person to either purchase from them or keep watching videos. And obviously a video is the best way to have somebody know, like, and trust you. They can see you, see you're authentic, see you're real, see just everything about you. And so, I love the power of video. It's tremendous. Now, I do want to talk about videocreators.com, but right before we do that, are there any successful marketing strategies you've used to promote and sell your own courses over the years?
Yeah, so I've been my expertise on YouTube is organic growth. So everything I've done has been just through white hat organic stuff. I haven't done any paid promotion, no Facebook ads, no YouTube ads, no, it's just anything. It's just like, let's just grow it the best way that makes us sustainable long-term. And in the long run will generate far more traffic than having to always do paid campaigns. So my strategies have always kind of revolved around that. And so there's a few different ways that I used to promote my courses. So I tend to treat my YouTube channel the way a lot of people treat their email lists, which is like you get someone to sign up for your email list, aka subscribe to your YouTube channel, or i.e. not aka subscribe to your YouTube channel. I'm backspacing on my words. Yeah. And then you don't just like sell, like a lot of people on YouTube at the point of every single video is to get someone to their website to sign up for this thing and buy this thing, whatever, which is actually really bad from an SEO perspective, and which we can talk about if you'd like. But I'll do the same way. Like you send your email where it's like, hey, here's who I am, getting to know me. You have a sequence that's several emails that kind of like leads into, teasing the value for your course. And then you have a few follow-up emails after that just are intended to sell the course. I do the same thing with my YouTube channel. So I have a new course coming out. I usually take my audience along on that journey with me, and I'll say, like, here's what I'm working on. What do you guys think? What feedback do you have here? Hey, I need a few people who are willing to test this for me and give me some feedback. If you're available to do that, sign up, and just kind of keeping them involved. So it's kind of like they know about this from the beginning, and they feel from the beginning like this isn't like a money-making thing. This is Tim trying to give us the best value he can thing. And then I'll have so if I know the course about like the Find Your Voice course, for example, about feeling comfortable on camera, I'll do I think I shot like 5 videos with that acting coach just for the YouTube channel, giving really good value. And it's a free playlist on my channel if anyone wants to go get those. But they give free value that helps people. It earns trust and credibility, and the know, like, and trust factors. And then I'll do a few of those videos, and then the 2 or 3 after, I think it's like 5 videos. So like the 3rd or 4th one, I don't remember exactly, but we'll then start talking about, hey, we've been talking about this for a few weeks now. We got this course coming up. If you want to be the first to be notified about it, sign up here. And then like the next week's videos, like it's coming out next week if you want to be the first. And then it's like, hey, it's here. And you know what I'm saying? Like the same way you would do an email campaign or an email launch is kind of how I'm doing the YouTube thing. And then after that, it's just kind of the same way you would on your website. I have a lead magnet on the end screen of all my videos that get people to sign up for my free ebook, which then leads into sequences that introduce them to other things that I'm doing. And then I also integrate the products into my videos whenever it makes natural sense to do so. Not as a hard sell pitch, but it's like, hey, if you guys want to learn more about this topic, check out this ebook called 30 Days to Better YouTube Channel. And it's like a 10-second pitch, and I show some things visually on screen with it, and then I keep going. And I'll convert about 1% of the audience into a sale whenever I do that, which can work out pretty well when you have a sizable audience. So. Sure.
No, that's cool because I like those strategies you just gave, because at least for most people that is slightly different. A lot of people do the email marketing or the launch process or whatever. So I think that's cool that you do similar things, but using video and bringing your audience along so they can see things and visualize what you're building and providing. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Sometimes I even integrate my audience into the course. So like, for example, the YouTube course, it's called Accelerate Your Channel Growth, so I actually interviewed a lot of people in my audience and asked them about the things that accelerated their channel growth, and the resources they use and things. And so that's bonus material. At the end of my content, there's like 5 or 6 bonus material videos that is featuring people from my audience and my community and their advice and what they did in those interviews. So, so when you put those people in your course, guess who's going to help you promote that course?
Right, absolutely.
So just kind of like you interview someone on your podcast and you tweet and tag them when it's published, like guess who's going to retweet that?
Right,
assuming the content was good, right?
Of course.
So yeah, same type of principle.
Yeah, very cool. So you've talked about it a little bit, but where can the audience learn more about you and your courses?
You can go to videocreators.com. That's where the courses are. The website needs a complete overhaul, so please no judging right now. We're working on it. But videocreators.com. At the top, there's a little link that says all courses, and that's where everything resides for that stuff.
Very cool. And I notice you have even consulting packages as well. If the listener
Yeah.
wants to build, grow, or optimize their YouTube channel, there's some different options there, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, you can work with me personally or someone on my team, depending on what level you're at, and love to hop into calls and help people reach their goals.
Nice,
that'd be awesome.
nice. So Tim, if somebody wants to follow you on YouTube or other social channels, where can they learn more about you?
Yeah, you can go to youtube.com/video creators, and several times a week I'm publishing new videos, and I think we got like 3 or 4 new videos a week, plus live streams, all just content designed to help creators grow an audience on YouTube, build a business around their channel so that they can reach people and change their lives. And so that's what we're all about there, and it's all free videos, so check it out.
Awesome. Well, Tim, I've watched many of your videos throughout the years. I'll have to go back and watch that test video maybe. But so I appreciate you providing value. Yeah. I appreciate you providing so much value over the years and helping so many people. And thanks so much for being on the Online Course Coach podcast today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So what did you learn from that interview? I love podcasts. I'm guilty of listening to too many podcasts, but I hope that you are implementing some of these strategies that we talked about in this interview. So if you don't have a YouTube channel, go set one up. And you know what? If you're like, hey, I don't even know how to set one up, go to YouTube and type in how to set up a YouTube channel. And sometimes what I do is I put the year, how to set up a YouTube channel, and I put the year. That way, the latest video comes up, or you can also filter by when the videos were created if you want to get super technical. But set up a YouTube channel and then think about creating some content. Now, I'm not saying you have to create, a video a week or multiple videos a week. Maybe it's one a month, or maybe you just batch them. Maybe you do a series of FAQ videos all about your course. Or maybe you do some bonus content leading up to the launch and sale of your course, kind of like what Tim talked about. So anyway, I hope that you implement some of the strategies that he talked about there. Now, don't forget, if you want to learn how to create effective course videos, go to easyvideoforcourses.com, where you can learn more about all my process, how I create videos, the software to use, the best equipment, no matter what budget you're on, how to get comfortable in front of the camera, where to put all that video. Do you just put it on YouTube, or is there a specific place to put it? And the answer is no, you definitely don't want to put it on YouTube. I have 2 resources for places that I recommend that you put course videos. So check out all that. You can watch the promo video. You can see what all the modules are about with Easy Video for Courses and see if it's a good fit for you, and you can get the course. And lastly, I have several trainings and courses, some of them free, some of them paid, some of them are mini courses, some of them are full-length courses. I have quite a few ideas that I think would be good to help course creators. But I really want your feedback. I don't want to, like Tim and I talked about, I don't want to create a course and present it to you and find out that it's just not the best fit if it's not meeting your needs. So I created a short survey where you can vote for your favorite course. There's ideas about using Facebook ads to promote your course. There's a potential course about how to outsource your course, as well as how to create additional revenue streams, some marketing, some beginner type courses. I have a few ideas in there. Or hey, maybe you have your own idea and you want an expert to create it just for you. I would be happy to consider that. So go to onlinecoursecoach.com/survey. So go to onlinecoursecoach.com/vote, and you can vote your course up or down. And I will be taking that, that information as very helpful from you and developing training content. And as an incentive, I'm giving away a bonus resource as part of that survey. So I'm going to change that resource from time to time. So please go to onlinecoursecoach.com/vote to see what the resource is that I'm giving away currently. So again, go to onlinecoursecoach.com/vote. I would be honored if you would tell me what training, what material, whether it's free or paid, you would be wanting to take. And it's a short survey, take a minute or two, and I would be honored if you would do that. All right, well, that is the show for today. Again, make sure you are making video content, whether that's in your courses or to build your audience, to promote your material, and just to get the word out there. Tim started just kind of innocently putting videos up there, and it's built a business around that. So how could you do that as well? I mean, there's people that use their smartphone and they're creating videos all the time, whether they're on site with their customers or clients, or I've worked with some agriculture companies, and so maybe you're on the farm and you're putting a course together on how to raise sheep or whatever that might be. Show your audience where you are. Demonstrate, don't just lecture. So get out of the office if you're able to. If your audience is out of the office, get on location and make some videos, even if it's with your smartphone, your tablet, or whatever you can to get those videos made. Because thankfully today, more and more people care about the content versus the quality. Just even a few years ago, you had to have a highly professional, overly produced video to be taken seriously. Now, it's really about authenticity and the content. So get out there, make some videos, and keep me updated on how it's going for you. All right, well, that's the show for today. Keep coming back to the Online Course Coach podcast, where it is my goal to help you to teach many to impact millions.